Yeah.
Cool.
Oh,
We
did
should
you?
be live.
Oh, go ahead.
I mean, you can still ask. Like, we're gonna have a little bit of a wind up here anyway. So,
Uh,
but
did
we are
you?
live.
You
So
still want to do a little cue for? I got my notepad. It's fine.
a little what?
For my notepad. Remember how I said for the timestamps?
Oh yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
No, I got it open.
That sounds great. Gonna do that. Sounds excellent. All right. So
Good to go.
let's see here. I'm gonna go ahead and get chat set up so that I got that in another browser so I can respond and stuff. That's what cool people do.
Mhm.
Beautiful. Seems on point. And I'm gonna go ahead and spam some links out to people. Get some people up in here. And then we will get this shit rolling. Michael, thanks for being here, man. Hi. Late night entertainment? Good. Glad you could be here for this top tier
What up, Mike?
late night entertainment. All right. I think that's it's gonna be
Hi.
plenty for me.
Oh,
Oh,
shit.
we
What
got
up, DK?
we got that boy.
You don't see? You don't see?
That slacker DK in the building.
Where the hell you been?
Car shopping. Got a new car today.
Ooh, what'd you get?
Very nice. Very nice.
WRX.
Oh shit!
Yeah. Still in work clothes.
Hey man, you look cute. It's fine.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother.
Nailed it.
But
All
I
right.
had to reposition the camera.
Huh? You got a new camera?
Nah, I repositioned it. It's better lighting.
Oh.
'Cause, yeah.
Cool. Yeah, it's not doesn't have
Well,
like
does
nice.
it have what?
Yeah, it
Oh,
didn't have like the janky radial glow going on that you had sometimes, you know.
Yeah, before, right? Everything's like more like.
Yeah.
What can you see here, though? You can see all types
Hey
of
man,
shit.
I could have sworn you were rank 40, Zero.
I am. What
what?
are you talking about? Don't worry about that. Don't worry about it.
Rank 40 and what? Are we live yet?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we live.
yeah.
We're just doing a slow
Oh.
wind up. That's all that's going
Oh,
on. So.
shit.
Yeah, we were
What's up,
we were
guys?
getting
Waiting
ready
on
to
you,
start
princess.
with. Yeah.
Oh, shit.
All right.
My bad.
Hello, friends, fellow gamers. We are here with episode 13 of Capra is the Last Cloudia podcast. I am that Zero, and we are joined by, of course, my beautiful co-host here. We have Jawline Coon
What's up, guys?
and DK.
Yo, what's going on, guys?
Yeah, so week 2 of the Trials of Mana collab, and we have our second unit brought in. I think that's probably the biggest news, right? We have this girl here, Angela, looking fine as usual, you know, looking good. So, yeah, I mean, we can go ahead and get into like what she does, you know, all that fun stuff, and kind of talk about our impressions of her as well. Did you get her, Jawline? I know that I watched DK roll her, and I know that he got her, but
Bro, I had one multi to my name. No luck.
Wait.
So no, I didn't get her.
What is up with the level 9? What is happening right now? Oh, this is your reroll account. Hey, that don't count, man. Get the shit out of here.
Okay, so yeah, Angela, mage unit. Her big thing is that she is now our second mage that has no attribute magic available. So that's pretty huge. Previously it was just Lagrabos. In my opinion, it was like his primary value was his Apocalypse spell, and that it was neutral. And we have somebody else to compete with that, which is really cool. So nice. Yeah. As far as her physical attacks, the little bit that I've used her, I'm not a huge fan of her physical kit. Other than the S2 feels pretty cool, and a hot shot seems like it's okay if you can line things up to like makes things pierce. Her S1 it just feels hilariously bad to me. But I don't know. Anybody else have any different impressions of her physical side? I mean, I know she doesn't get any cap.
I love it. I'm way against what you're saying right now.
Oh, beautiful. Well, you've had much more time
yeah.
with her. I barely had a chance
Well,
to use her much.
From what I saw on DK's video, her S2 capped fairly easily, but the
Very
S1
easily.
and S3,
S1's
S1 and
terrible.
S3, yeah, they didn't cap as well. I didn't see. Obviously, I don't have her. I just didn't see from the video that she was able to cap. But her S2 was
S3
no
caps
issues.
at the end. There's a huge explosion in the end. I fucking love
okay.
it.
Cool.
It's three. It's like multiple piercing, like machine gun piercing, and then a huge explosion at the end.
Interesting. Okay, yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I do think the S2 is super satisfying though. Like I don't know if it's
It
necessarily good for like damage, but
It's fun.
it feels meaty when it slams down and flinches everything really hard, and yeah, so that's pretty
Didn't
cool.
she drop a fucking weight?
Yeah.
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 It's so fun.
Yeah, it feels like it has weight to it too, which is really, really great. And then the ult has a chance to make things faint, which, you know, at least it has a utility. I absolutely hate that so often we get really, really cool ults that are just damage, and the damage is usually really bad unless they're built for damage. So any amount of utility I'm all for. So not the worst ult.
Right.
I don't know how much faint that actually applies, but you know, fun stuff.
It's a pretty good amount. I was able to cause faint even on a boss, not like a major boss, but I was doing some desert trials. Because honestly, I know she's like a non-attribute mage, but I'm actually having a blast with the dark side of her. What is it called? Dark Force. That is really awesome. I love, and honestly, everything just caps so well.
Yeah, I've been hearing that pretty consistently.
Yeah, she's so consistent. You can literally use whatever you want, and it caps. Unlike, I know that there's a lot of mages that you can, like rainbow, like Zekka's, for example. Like he has like rainbow capabilities, but not a lot of it caps. A lot of it does not cap. But her,
unless you build for it.
No, yeah, you have to build for it. You don't need fire crit raise. You don't need high boost. You don't need nothing. The only problem, the only magic that kind of struggled a bit was her ice one.
Okay.
Other than that, dark, her earth, her lightning, all of it did really well, even on res. The highest on res I tested it on was 30%, and it did really, really well. So still capping. I definitely want to take her into what is it, that boss we were testing sheet on to see. I think he has 80 res on dark. I kind of want to test the dark on that and see where we're at there. I did take him into is it Vaj, right?
Vajra?
Yeah, Vajra. I took him in. I took her into there today. The only problem with her is that her survivability is a little, but we can work on that. I have a couple ideas to keep her alive longer. But she was capping on him too. So man, she's just a lot of fun.
Nice. Yeah. Games Magic. What's up, guys? Thanks for stopping by.
What's up, guys?
What's up, brothers?
Yeah, you Game saying I was scared that maybe she was going to be a melee mage like Lagrabos. I know what you're talking about. Lagrabos isn't even a melee mage. He's a suicidal mage.
Lagrabos was like the failure attempt to try and make a hybrid, bro. He's so suicidal. Like,
dude,
they wanted to make him a melee, right? But they gave him like the shittiest amount of HP.
Yeah. Well, and like I'd be okay with it. Like I feel like his hit counts are decent, and he's got a really, really sweet skill kit to use. If they gave his 8K cap to just neutral damage, period, not just to magic, like at least there'd be a risk reward to him being this, this like super squishy melee user. Like I'd be fine with that being the thing. Like you have to work really hard to keep him alive, but at least when he gets in there, he beats shit up, and he just doesn't at all. You can be capping, and he just does not do enough.
He is the most frustrating mage to play with because you're like, you expect him to do work, right? Because he is a pretty decent mage, but then you see his bald ass running right and he's faster than the damn actual DPS people.
Yeah.
And then you look over and he's zeroed out. I'm like, wow, I just lost Apocalypse. I lost my non-attribute. And you have, I've yelled at my screen on towers because of him. And I'm, like no one can hear me, but I'm like screaming at Lagrabo. It's like, what are you doing?
Yeah, you got to babysit him a bit.
What are you doing?
All right. So back to this girl though, Angela. So first rate Spellbinder. So this is a lot like Reese. So basically, as you level it up, it gets different names. Yay, cool. Top tier is called Spellbinder. Basically, when she's got a staff, magic damage plus 30%, damage cap plus 3K. Nothing crazy, but like, okay, cool. Pretty standard. When hitting attribute weakness, magical attack damage plus. So this is the same thing that Papoy got, except, she's a good unit, so nice. I like it. considering she's a rainbow mage, has basically everything but light in her base kit. You know, the main goal is going to be to have her hitting those weaknesses. So, yeah, great skill. I'm sure that contributes pretty heavily to her consistently capping. Then mana attacks are effective against bosses. Think that's pretty sweet. So she basically gets Boss Geyser, and then we'll see in her kit she also has Special Boost, so that's just an immediate plus 100% damage with her magic against bosses. So
is it Slayer or Killer? I thought someone said it was Killer.
That wouldn't make any sense. It's the same thing.
Wait, what?
What do you mean?
I thought
well, Killer is...
It applied Killer damage, not Slayer damage.
What do you think Slayer is? It's the same thing.
No, yeah, I know, but I'm just saying.
I don't understand.
Slayer.
Okay, sure. Okay, so then it's killer damage.
Technically,
but like,
it's killer, right? It's the same shit.
It's geyser damage.
Differently.
It's geyser damage if we want to be but yeah, sure.
Slayer was the best overall, so we just go for the higher.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know.
You're making it complicated, Jaw.
Listen, shut up. Continue.
I haven't drank nearly enough to deal with you right now.
I was just bringing something up.
Yeah. No, you're good. You're good. But yeah, whatever the fuck it's called, it's the thing that doesn't stack. It's binary. Slayer, Killer, Geyser, whatever. She gets it for free on all bosses with her magic, with her mana magic specifically. So, yeah. We don't often see like super duper specific Slayer effects coming in. So like that's pretty interesting. I kind of like that. That's neat. And then she also basically has Sharp Eyes for magic, which I kind of don't like, but, you know, it still, I'm sure, helps her cap more. But the fact that, you know, her MP sustain, as far as I'm told, basically comes down to the standard auto advanced magic circle, which she has, as opposed to like Goddess Kiss, which she can kind of struggle to use. I'm sure she can make it work, but, you know, the main thing you want when you have auto advanced magic circle is really high MP. But as we've seen with like Roy, for instance, or Ed, when you're, you know, wanting to have a high MP pool, leeching 3% of your max every attack kind of sucks. So that's a little bit unfortunate, and I kind of wish this was on a skill instead, because we can't turn this off. So like there has to be this sort of balance of like max MP versus not. I think having max MP is still like high MP is still going to be best overall, but you know, it just feels a little bit odd that it kind of works against itself, so that she can't really be super efficient on MP if she's slinging a whole bunch of spells, you know? Mm-hmm. So, but I haven't actually used her at that high end of stuff anyway. Maybe it's not really a problem, but just an observation. Not a huge fan, but it's neat, though.
Removing Magic Aura should help you sustain a lot of MP, though.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
and if you did something like that, it would lead also towards having maybe a smaller MP pool, since most of the cost would come off of the like 3%. So I'd be curious to see in general, like how maybe just test a high pool without Magic Aura versus a high one where you're using this, and just see, you know, how many spells you can actually get off. So that'd be an interesting thing to actually find out how the math plays. But
right.
Yeah. Okay. Skills. So she comes with a whole bunch of magic, but unlike Papoy, most of them are all really good. Gets Evil Gate and Exploder from Papoy. Those are existing. Both pretty decently solid skills, Dark Force being a standout. Exploder only has like 9 hits, but it covers a pretty big area, so in, you know, effectiveness, it can still work pretty well. But you can upgrade it with Blaze Wall, which is a much more directed attack. So instead of being a really, really wide area, it's more so a medium-sized column of flame. So if things are grouped, you can hit them all. And as far as I know, it seems like it provides a good amount of lift, too, for crowd control. And then it has a damage cap increase, too. Did you want to comment on that anymore, DK?
For the damage cap increase?
Well, just Blaze Wall in general, or any of her magic. Do you want to just like talk through your experience with any of these? Or is it just like?
I actually hold on. Let me pull up my game real quick, because that's one thing I don't have up yet. One thing I have. Wait, go ahead and talk, John.
No, I was just gonna ask. Do all of her magics, do they lift so that you can use Sky High for more damage?
I actually was thinking about. I actually learned Sky High today to test it. You know, I believe Sky High is 20%, right?
Yeah.
I did learn it today, so I was gonna test it. I feel like. You know, honestly, man, her magic, like, a lot of it gets engulfed so like it's hard to see what's going on.
Yeah, you'd have to
but
test probably.
I believe it basically just kind of watch to see if it activates. But I guess while we did the podcast, I'll go ahead and do some testing on that. But I'm almost positive that everything does lift.
Yeah.
Or at least some of it does.
I definitely haven't tested it much. I would be pretty positive that like Blaze Wall and Stun Gust definitely do, for sure. And Evil Gate should as well, since that kind of has like a singularity effect. So.
I've actually removed Evil Gate. I don't want to run 2 Dark Magics. So.
Oh yeah, Dark Force is pretty sick.
Dark Force is amazing.
Dark
I'm
Force.
Pretty sure it could actually work really well in the Ether farming stage. Commanders, ICG3.
Oh sure.
I think she might be really good for that too.
Yeah, it might. Could.
Yeah, could. I haven't tested.
I don't know. Worst case, Ancient Curse definitely should, as long as her AI would actually play with it.
Oh,
but,
right.
Yeah, so
a little longer though.
Ancient Curse. This is the skill that is neutral. So this is the and also worth noting, this is the only non-stacking magic she has. All the rest of these can be stacked with everything else. So if you're in multiplayer, for instance, you don't have to worry about anybody else having the cast space. You could be running with a Maja, which could work super duper well. He can be bringing the big PP damage, and she still has access to this entire spell kit, which is super great. Ancient Curse is non-stacking though. I believe it is 30 hits. Is that correct?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah, so 30 hits, and I believe at base she's, 28k cap with no raises?
27, 28.
27 or 28, yeah. So, pretty good. It's not as much as Lagrabos's Oblivion, or Apocalypse, but from what I've seen, she can hit that damage much easier. You don't really have to do a runaround like you do with Lagrabos, which is cool. I think when I did the math, I think it's roughly like 25% less damage overall, assuming you were hitting 1 million with him.
Right.
But yeah, so still, really good skill from what I understand, and the animation time is about perfect, along the lines of like Eliza's Big Bang, where like you can throw one of these off, and then you can mix in one of any of these to go with it, and then just alternate in and just do Ancient Curse, something else, Ancient Curse, and just like alternate for like better DPS. So. Yeah, really, really solid. Her magic kit looks super fun. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. No, she's actually. I actually ran her today with Lagrabos, and it was fun. It was a lot of fun. It's fun because she can actually get, while he's casting Apocalypse, she can actually get 2 to 3 of her magic attacks off before that Apocalypse explodes. I think I got 2 off at one point.
Nice.
I don't know about the third, but it's just. Sometimes I feel like you can run 2 magics at once with her. If someone else is casting, she's so quick that you can actually see both happening simultaneously throughout the match. So like Shining Zoc, when Shining Zoc would hit, you'll see her stuff hitting too. So it's just like the whole field is shaking, right? From magic.
Of course, yeah.
So like, it's visually just it's a lot of fun.
Nice.
When it comes to that, so.
All right, we got some basic mage stat ups. Special boost, which is always a nice thing to have since she has that boss geyser. And then Dragon Geyser, I assume this is just a flavor win, because all this does is lets you have Slayer damage on non-boss dragons. But I assume based on the game, from what I have heard, her like rival or like the big baddie that she was up against and stuff was a dragon. Is that correct? Mister has played these games before.
Wait, what?
You.
For her?
Yeah. I assume Dragon Geyser's a flavor win from the games.
It's doesn't Homeboy have Dragon Slayer too? It's like a thing.
I don't know. I guess I didn't think that
Duran?
I didn't think Duran didn't have Dragon Slayer. I don't think.
Randy, come on, guys.
Randy.
Oh, Randy
has random killers and slayers all over. He doesn't count. He's crazy.
I don't even know if they're like story tied or game wise or whatever. But yeah, that motherfucker has random killers and slayers.
Yeah.
Actually, no. I take that. But in his kit, the only slayer that he has is Dragon Slayer.
Dragon Slayer. That's what I'm saying.
All the other things are killers, and then his skills have slayers, which are random too.
Nice.
They gotta keep it all together, man.
All right. So we've got auto aura, always nice. Wisdom protection, and then a whole bunch of auto protection, critical, advanced circle, recast, heal. I mean, especially these are ones we really love to see on mages. Auto recast, advanced circle, super key. Auto heal's really nice. I have a feeling that you almost have to make Goddess Kiss work to really make this be super solid. Because I could see her being really MP heavy at endgame with like leeching 3%, and then if she drops 30 every time she takes too hard of a hit, that could be a little bit rough probably. But no attribute attack raise, no attribute critical raise. These things to me are kind of there probably to help out her regulars. Because technically it'll help her Ancient Curse, but from what I hear, her Ancient Curse does just fine anyhow. So like
perfect. Don't even need it.
Yeah, so like most of the stats are neutral, so that helps her a little bit. She has some boost to help with that. So if you wanted to get on Goddess Kiss, it could help out. Pose for Victory. Okay. You definitely want to be teaching her Pose for Honor or Pose of Honor to help out with that MP. High level magic, you always want it. A stacking like reject effect, so that's really nice. Staff boost, mega boost, very nice. Decoy, magic aura, really great things to save SC on. I definitely would have taught him to her, so yeah, beautiful. You love the include. Then she has wound magic, which is a lot like Duran's wound skill as well, where basically you get extra damage cap and do more damage by leeching max HP. So in theory, auto heal should help to kind of keep that sustained if you have any issues with it, but it only loses. You have 5%, so I feel like that's probably not a huge loss. It's probably pretty good. Then we have Limit Break as well, so your no attribute attacks have a chance to deal critical damage, and then you get a plus 8k cap. Now, I have seen people talking about this. Even though it appears like it could be, this is not limited to no attribute. This is all magic is capped, plus 8,000. So this is not just neutral. I'm not talking out of my ass there, right, DK?
Wait, what?
I'm not talking out of my ass, right? Like this plus 8k, this is for all magic. This is not just neutral, even though...
No, it's everything. Yeah, anything magic.
Okay. Sweet.
That'd be dumb.
Well, yeah, people were arguing in Discord before that like that's how it was worded, and I was like, I mean, it's worded like it's an upgraded critical Neo, except rebranded to have the classes attached to it, but they're really inconsistent on how they use periods, commas, and backslashes. So like Maja has it written two different ways that this could imply that it's attached to the attribute. And then this one, I hoped it was for all, and I'm really glad that it is, because it would have really sucked if it was just neutral. So definitely glad it's not. So yeah, that's her in general. She's pretty sweet. Any other comments on her? Like how she's feeling? How... places you think that she's good, her flaws. What do you got?
I'm going to click on my icon 0, so that way it show up on stream. The webcam.
Yeah. All right, there. You good? You back?
I don't know why it does that.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm here, but...
All right, yeah, I see you. So hopefully everything else has got it. So my bad on that. All right. Yeah, I mean, she seems pretty good.
You got her. I don't know. I feel like you should have more input than us.
Well, DK has her, max level E5.
Oh, DK. Sorry, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
Oh,
I technically have her, but like I have a different experience than you guys, so I'll talk about
DK, but then I said 0.
Yeah, I'll talk about my personal experience after. But how's
man? Yours doesn't matter. You got a fucking alt.
I think some people will care how the early game with her is. Because
there you go.
I've heard people talking about how like she's gonna just make people crush campaign, and I don't completely disagree. But she's not gonna start crushing until like you're at least like multiple hours in, because
so you're gonna need to build her. I mean, even so basically not even build her, but just even her base kit at 50 XD, you're gonna have zero issues.
Yeah, well, so here's the thing: when you're a new account, you will have nothing to teach. You're going to be at like maybe 5 of 20 SC. It doesn't matter if you get 50, So for people's knowledge, I decided to start an alt just because, see if I could play with her, see how she would feel for, new player. And it's been a very interesting experience. I've learned to appreciate some things that, are easily taken for granted. But her, when you actually look at her kit, I can't actually look in the skill kit here. So the thing that I found to be troublesome for her on a new account is like she's really back end loaded. In the first couple of rings, there's essentially zero value at all. You start with Exploder, which is obviously her worst spell, like I talked about. It also has, it's not only mediocre, but it also requires like 80 cast speed or 90. It's really, really hungry for cast speed. What? Oh, what the fuck's going on over here?
We got you, Zero. You
What
alive?
happened?
What?
Freaking tornado hit him, bro.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah?
What's going on? Am I here?
Yeah, you're here, but
You-
it looks
you
like
just,
you're having
like,
internet
dipped.
issues.
I just dipped for a second? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, very cool. Very, very cool. All right, we're going to go back live again. We're going to get things continuing. Okay. Are we good now? Are we,
Psych.
are we here?
Where's your camera? Where's your
Alright.
camera?
What, you can't see my camera?
No.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
You can?
Just click on it. Click on it, DK. Click on his
Oh.
like image or whatever.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
Yeah,
Can everybody
okay.
else see Zero? We can't go on without Zero's face.
Okay, cool.
man.
Yeah, you easily could, you know.
Yeah, I think I could.
All right.
God damn, savages tonight.
So, considering I don't know exactly when I dipped out, this is with all the new characters, Maja and Sheeta, are in the same regard. Oh, good to know. But I know there are some units where in this first little row, you might start with a dual wield. You might start with Ruination, I believe. Doesn't Baran have Ruination like basically right out the gate? Or super duper early? Maybe not fast Ruination.
Spell?
The spell though.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like that's really high value for a brand new account. Or like if you have in the first couple rings like Pose for Glory or a skill charge. Like there's units that have that. She has nothing. She has nothing working for her. The fact that her cast speed's so bad, to make her viable, I taught her Tornado Storm so she'd have a low cost spell to at least do some stuff with. I'm working on getting up to high level Magic Chan and Auto Advanced. I'm almost there. Auto Recast. These are like going to be the biggest things, but on a new account, things are so expensive that like it takes a little bit, you know?
Yeah.
So I've been relying on other units. I've been relying on like OG Bet and a little bit of Duran, but Duran hasn't even felt good on a brand new account. I'll be honest. Base Claire unbuilt has felt more impactful than level 100 unbuilt Duran. No cap. His S1
Holy
is such a
fuck.
joke. Her S1 actually kind of crushes. Like, it's pretty good. It's actually pretty good. But yeah, so Duran has somehow managed to disappoint me further by using him on a new account.
Damn it, Duran.
I'm sure he'll get there when he starts to get built, but at that point, by the time I can build him, I'll just have Angela like slapping the shit out of things, you know? So
Fake ass Super Saiyan 3.
yeah, basically once I get to mid game, I think she's going to be really, really gross. She's just not quite there. So on a new account, she needs to get carried by other units. She can't handle things on her own at all. But you know,
You know what's kind of nice though is that, and that's a comment that I thought about that Games was putting shout out. I mean, the power creep isn't out of control or anything, which is it's actually kind of nice because I feel like we are getting out of control with power creeps, and the fact that they kept her like really subtle, and like if more characters were like that, I feel like we wouldn't be so tempted to pull every single unit because of the power creep. So the
Right.
fact that
Yeah.
they kept these guys kind of neutral is like. It's mellow, right? We're not worried
Yeah.
about high hits. We're not worried about who's better than who. We're not worried about it. We're just like she's good for what she does, and that's it.
yeah. I mean,
And I do kind of appreciate that.
yeah. At the same time, I feel like I personally don't think power creep has gotten that insane overall. Especially because like I feel like we have the tippy top of certain points, and they're not really pushing much beyond. As far as like Luxeus is basically DPS physical cap, and now we have Maja, who's clearly the cap of magic. So like everything else is like will obviously get compared to them in some sort of regard, but I don't think things are like getting close to like nuking past that as far as like raw numbers and things like that. And it seems like whenever we get new things that are powerful, it's in some sort of unique way, or it's tamed back like this. Like Lanceville was another good example where I think his closest example was A2, where they're like kind of bruisery, like you can build them to be a bit tanky and they're single wield and can potentially have high caps. But like his damage was reined back even on A2, but like I think he has a little bit more survivability potential, and his super armor makes him be a bit more potent in certain areas as well, being more consistent on dishing out damage. But he wasn't OP by any means.
Right.
My impressions of I'm talking about Lancevale.
Oh.
How like he's really recent, but he doesn't feel like he's power creep in the slightest. He's like A2, but like a little less damage, but can also has the super armor, so he can be a little more reliable in certain fights. But it's not direct power creep in any way. It's just a little bit of a shift for different purposes. And Angela's kind of similar. I'd say her closest comparison is probably Eliza.
Yeah.
It seems like her DPS is probably a bit lower than Eliza, but she has, you know, the utility of being a rainbow mage and having neutral. And, you know, because of that, it means that her AI can handle things much, much better too. Because Eliza, you pretty much have to be dropping res to get her to cast stuff automatically. Otherwise, you just have to manual her, which is great. She does really good when you manual her. But, you know, some people don't like to do that. You just like to autoplay all the time. And Angela, being a rainbow mage with really fast, non-stacking spells, seems like really, really good for that. So,
how is her AI, DK?
Oh, God. I don't know. I haven't built her correctly. Maybe that's why. As far as her AI, sometimes I catch her doing autos for a good period of time before she actually casts. I'm pretty sure if I limited to what I'm thinking is that the AI is getting confused because of multiple attribute resistances and weaknesses happening all at once, and she's getting confused on what to cast. So if I were to remove more spells, I think she would, like, let's say I were to do just Ancient, I'm sure she would constantly cast Ancient without releasing any autos. But that'll be for testing later on. I haven't quite done that yet. But to go back on something that you did ask earlier, Zero, Sky High does work. Dark Force works. Actually, her best one would be Sky High with Sky Lord, because that Blaze attack does shoot them pretty high, actually outside of the screen. So she would get a huge percentage on Blaze. Dark Force, minimal lift, so she will get 20% all the way around for other magic attacks. So Blaze, you can do up to 70% with Sky High and Sky Lord, and then the rest.
Sky Lord's physical though.
Is it physical?
Yeah, it's only physical.
Oh shit. Okay, never mind then.
Sad.
I thought it was. Well, then Sky High 2. Which I believe we don't have that one teachable yet.
Cool.
Sky High 2, no.
Nope. It's 30%.
Yeah.
Okay. Damn it. That sucks. Okay. Then
That's right. Well, it sounds like her damage overall is generally pretty good anyway.
It's really good. You might not even need the Sky High, but just for that extra boost. The only reason why you would really use it was for waves. So you won't be lifting a boss anytime soon. So therefore, I think it'd be kind of niche. So
yeah, cool.
Right.
Nice. But yeah, anyway, she seems super fun. I'm looking forward to playing with her a little bit. I don't know for sure if I'm gonna stay on my ult or not, just because I don't know if I'll be able to manage having an ult. But it's gonna be a fun time until then. So I've been pretty fortunate with the reroll overall, which has been super great.
You guys want to talk about the arc?
Yeah, pulling it up now. So we have Flammy and what is this? Vuskov?
I'm assuming Vuskov, yeah. Vuskov, whatever.
Artwork is really fun. I like that. It looks good. It's pretty, but it's also a little bit silly, and just, yeah, it's cool. I like it. So the effective trait on it is one of the most niche traits we've seen so far, in my opinion. Each time mana magic is used, all magic attacks progressively gain more damage. So kind of similar to spell linkage, except for mana magic, not a specific spell. Up to 35%, resets each wave. So there's no timer on it, which is good. You just start out at lower damage, and then it ramps up a bit. HPMP plus 10%, okay, neat. And when magically attacking, chance for a piercing effect, basically, on your magic. So the main issue with this is, like, the fact that it's mana magic means it's basically only useful on Angela and Papoy. I mean, you can technically teach, like, Acid Storm, I guess, and Holy Bolt to somebody, so they have access to mana magic. But that's pretty niche. So, not a huge fan. I wish that was generic magic. I don't think that would be broken in the slightest to just say when magic is used, you get the effects and just make it be, you know, good.
Right.
But, you know, is what it is. Skills on it. Basic stuff, we don't really care. Soul Hunt. This is actually not too bad. So when an ally is incapacitated, apply a magic damage buff of plus 30 to the unit. There's not a whole lot of ways to apply a magic attack buff up. There's the flag weapon from the Council Arc. There is an accessory that gives you plus 15% at wave start. So this is just a way of giving plus 30, which is pretty nice. So that buff itself just doesn't exist in a whole lot of places, so this isn't too bad. And it's an excuse that if you wanted to use like a Meal Heads and Curse Ring, or remove the life chip from one of your robots from the Nier event, you can suicide and just instantly get a plus 30% to your magic damage. So it's not awful if you wanted to be janky with it. Auto barrier we've seen. Elemental combo is decent.
Pretty cool.
So yeah, magic attack damage.
Just
this
like
is
spell linkage, right?
Yeah, it's like spell linkage, except it's tied to an attribute, not a specific spell. So just every time you cast an element of any kind, it could be good. So like Eliza, if you're going in between Big Bang and Meteor Rain, it could help that. But at the same time, she doesn't really need help with damage. If we looked at Angela, she has a wide variety, and she's going to be alternating probably between neutral and something else. So even that doesn't seem like it's necessarily for her. Maybe Robla could do something with it. So like I don't see who necessarily wants this right now, especially since it resets after 10 seconds. Now, I haven't tested this, but I don't know if maybe it refreshes every time you use one, and like it only resets if you don't use anything for 10 seconds. But the way it reads, it almost sounds like after 10 seconds you have to build it up again, at which case, I don't know, it just doesn't seem that good to me.
There's other ways you can do it without having to worry about diminishing either.
What do you mean?
Is it only 20? It only maxes out at 20%, right?
Yeah, maxes out at 20%. Yeah, why?
Yeah, and you're constantly, but you have to constantly keep doing it or you lose it, right?
In theory, yeah, in theory.
Did you just like run like Moonlight and call it a day and just make sure your AP is maintained and you get 20% there?
Well, yeah, I mean 20%.
That's int. I mean, this is damage.
Yeah, I mean int isn't the same as damage, so like it's not going to scale exactly the same.
Oh wait, it's like a little small. What is that? Oh, magic tribute. Oh, damage. Oh.
Yeah, it increases your magic damage, not just your int. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I don't know.
But either way, it still just seems a little bit sketchy. Maybe at some point we'll get a unit that really wants it. Right now, I don't see it completely. Fast high protection is new. I can see this changing some things in PvP potentially. Just having units go from 20% physical resist to 35. I'm a little disappointed at the cost though. Like I'm sure they did it for
7.
I'm sure they did it for balance purposes, but I would have expected this to be 4 or 5. 7 just feels a bit harsh. I feel like they only priced it at that because of PvP. Like just so that people don't auto slap it on stuff, which is really frustrating because I'd like to just use it.
7. Auto protection at 7 and it does less.
Yeah.
And it's all the time versus 7.
Well, and what I
40 seconds.
Yeah, like what I compare it to is, the base fast protection gives you 20 and it costs 2. So when this gives you 35, okay, going up to 4 SC would be, you're losing a little bit on efficiency, but like maybe give it an extra point, make it 5, and then okay, it costs a little bit more because like that stacking value is pretty good. But like 7, that's pretty up there. I'm sure I'll find places to use it, but yeah, I definitely wish it was less. Ether Reward. This is a pretty good one.
Yes.
I don't think everybody needs it, and I don't think it's super ridiculous, but it's a very good staff.
Nice.
So, like, in my opinion, this entire arc, if you happen to get it while going for Angela, the only thing you really care about is probably this staff. This is the best thing on the whole arc, in my opinion. Everything else is just kind of meh, So, we've got decent stats, except MP. I'm sad there's no MP there. It's a little disappointing. But over 200 int. Generic magic attack damage plus 10%. Nice. And basically, whenever you are hitting something that is resisting your element of your magic, you resist it by 20%. So we've seen this type of effect on Zekis, who cuts it by 50%. We've seen it on the Elemental Arc that cuts it by 30%. So here we have it on a staff. The main place that I think this is really cool is like if you're wanting to run somebody like Maja and you just want him on Sandworm Nether Tempest, when you're going against people that are like 80 or 100% in Earth Res, this cutting it by 20% and how powerful his stuff is, you might be able to cap anyway.
Yeah.
Like, which is pretty big, because otherwise you just might not be able to do it, and then you'd have to switch over and be using Starverse or just some other element or whatever. So, also, Eliza, it could maybe help, but Eliza kind of cuts through res pretty well anyway. I usually don't have trouble. If I'm fighting somebody that's like 50, even 70 fire res, she can usually cap through it anyway between her anima and then just the crazy scaling she has on fire magic. But yeah, just to be able to help if things are resisting you and you're only having one element available to you, pretty good. It is kind of funny. This is pretty much not for Angela almost at all, though, since she's a rainbow mage, so she's just going to go to the weakness anyway or use neutral. So
yeah,
this staff is kind of just for everybody else. While the arc itself is technically for her, but it's also just kind of mediocre, and I don't think it's that crazy. So I'm curious how this would stack exactly with, like, say Zekis had the elemental arc and the staff on. Like, if it's additive before the stuff comes in, so, like, it's literally Trish for magic. Which would be kind of funny, you know?
Well, mini Trish.
No, this would literally be Trish. I'm saying in a situation where if it stacks correctly, Zekis is 50% with elemental arcs 30, and then this at 20, that's 100% resist reduction to...
Trish.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
Oh, yeah, so, like, in that situation. But I don't know how it all stacks. Maybe it's, like, one takes effect, and then the other, which would really, really suck. But, you know,
I would think it would all simultaneously take effect. I don't understand why I would separate it. Or
some things are weird. We haven't cracked the code on exact damage calculation, so
true. You're very right.
What would have been very nice if it just worked like the dark bow and it was just a flat 20. Like that would have been so much better. But
to be honest, I don't even think Zekas even would need this.
No, I'm sure he doesn't. Yeah. But I just think it'd be cool.
I mean, it'd be cool. Like, I got the arc, and as soon as I got it, I instantly did all my well, not all of my, but I used the Ethereon to get the staff, and I haven't even used it. I think I did it just because I was like, you know what, this is cool. I'm gonna get it, but I haven't even used it. So
you're like, you know what? I don't use Ethereon at all. I may as well this time.
Yeah, I still have 60.
Jesus Christ, that's ridiculous.
Well, 55, but yeah.
All right, let's go ahead and take a look at her paid. I suppose it's a thing.
I'm at 65.
Yeah, all right, so we've got Chaos Chaser. So, again, really good int. Damage cap plus 2,000. It's a really good damage cap. Better than we have on any other magic source, which is really good. Magic damage and MP plus 15%. I mean, as far as paid stuff goes for a caster, this is pretty good staff. If I was paying already and I already had credentials for it, I probably would take this over a Prism, I think. Considering her damage cap is not crazy high anyway. Yeah, it's not too bad. It's pretty good. I wish there was a little bit of MP on it instead of just, you know, the passive here. So that's a little annoying, but, you know, I'll take what I can get.
Right. For a new account, dude, that'd be really good.
Yeah,
honestly.
all right. And then
I like the staff. I think it's cool. I mean, she doesn't. Yeah, I think it's good. I like it. I don't know.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Like, if I had it, I would probably pick it over a Prism. That's usually my measure for paid gear. Is like if I'm sitting on 25 and I could get it, would I take it or a Prism? There's a lot of paids. I'd just take a Prism.
The only problem that I see with that though is that would you use Godforge, that, or the Arc Ether reward on the new Arc?
For what?
That's the problem I'm having. Just use on her.
For Angela?
A daily use Angela. Would you take 2K, or would you take?
I would take the 2K.
I wouldn't.
That's
really? Well, I wouldn't.
That's my thing. So
the 2K is nice enough, but to be honest, I would just take it for the MP. Fuck everything else. Like, I mean, the 2K is nice, damage is nice, but like, to be honest, I would just do it for the MP.
Well, so
I don't know. I would just take a lot of MP.
Yeah, I guess I'd be curious.
I'm not saying the damage cap isn't, good and all. It's great. Yeah. But if I had to just pick one thing that I liked about it, I like the MP.
Well, I'm curious how this actually ends up like affecting your stuff at the end of the day. Because in general, you're gonna have all the MP ups on anyway, right? So like, what does this ultimately give you, as opposed to if this just had like 40 or 50 MP on it, and how that would scale with all your passives? Like, that's what I'd be curious about, because it is missing MP as well. So maybe if you had the maybe if you put the Lugmechia staff on that has 50 MP, maybe that actually ends up effectively being more when all your other multipliers come in. But I don't know. I don't have it. I don't have paid gear. That's not my thing. But yeah, that's my general measure though, is like, if I look at something and I'm like, is there something else on my account or something else free to play I could get that I would just use instead? Like, then I don't care about the paid. Like, the only thing I might use over this is if I had Theo and I could get the crazy Godforge staff.
That's what I'm saying. If you had, that was my whole point. If you had Godforge,
sorry,
use Godforge, Chaos Chaser, or the Arc Ether reward. That's where I'm. Okay, so I really do want the Chaos Chaser, but I'm using Godforge wand, the Theo wand,
Yeah.
It's a
Right.
25% more
Yeah,
attack
so I don't
damage.
think you really need it. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I mean,
Exactly.
I don't think she
That's-
needs damage, right?
Yeah.
I mean, consistent damage or a high damage cap that I might not get. I mean, that's.
Well, I mean, you can
I mean,
make her damage consistent.
I know. Yeah, I could.
Yeah.
But you know,
Yeah.
but usually you guys are usually the ones that were like, "Ah, it's just 2% or it's just 1%."
What? That's zero,
Yeah.
not me. Don't lump me in with him. I'll take all the damage cap I'll get.
Well,
Okay, fine, fine,
so
dude.
here's the thing. There's a big difference though when we have this anyway, because when we're doing that, we're talking about like when people have 20, 30K caps and they're like dual wielding. She has some spells where like there's maybe a decent amount of hits, but not a ton, and like, yeah, she doesn't have the highest cap. Like she's fine. She's got the third best cap as far as magic, you know, because there's Maja and then there's Eliza and then she beats out Rabala by a pretty good margin until she gets a buff. Maybe she'll be a little bit higher, but I don't know.
Ultimately, right now, why we're having this conversation is because I do want it, but I don't know if I want it, like if I would use it basically. So I basically just wanted
Yep.
y'all's opinion.
Yeah.
And I mean, you guys are
That's
kind
where
of
I'm at.
convincing me to actually kind of go for it now.
Yeah.
I only need 9 more points to get it.
Yeah. Well,
You guys know me; I'm a huge damage cap guy. But I was actually like, this time I was like, you know what? Zero's always saying it's 2%. Guys, don't really worry about it. But
yeah,
It's
I mean,
only 2%.
it's if it was up to me and if it's on my account, like I would just stick with the Theo staff. That's just me. But yeah. I'm that guy.
But
so
would you use it if you had? Which one would you use if you had?
if I
both?
had it for free, I think I would probably use it unless I found myself not capping like ever. Like
Okay,
like
fair
like
enough,
if
fair
I
enough.
found some cases where I'm just like, oh shit, I can't quite like cut through this res, or maybe like they're, you know, I want something else to work when, you know, just some niche case isn't working well because my damage isn't consistent enough. I would instantly go back to the Theo staff and I'd just be like, whatever, I don't care about that measly 2,000 cap.
And it's at 25, right? 25 creds.
Yeah, it's 25 because there's 2 pieces, so it's just kind of it's just whatever. But like for example, I don't like using Scarlet Blade on too many people, but if I'm easily capping and it doesn't affect my autos at all for Goddess Kiss and stuff, like I'll run Scarlet Blade on a swimsuit Alice all the time. No, not Sheeta,
okay.
not Sheeta. I like overpowering things with strength. Scarlet Blade.
All right, fair enough,
Scarlet
fair enough.
Blade kills the shit on that. But like Swimsuit Alice, she easily caps on everything, and like the element of her auto attacks don't matter. She still gets like 300 to 400 MP on Goddess Kiss procs, no matter what. She's fucking ludicrous on her scaling. So I'm like, cool, I'll just run Scarlet Blade.
That's how I feel about Angela. Her scaling is really nice.
Yeah, so if she just easy caps then all the time, then yeah, I'd probably run Chaos Chaser if I had it for free. I wouldn't pay like $50 for it or whatever it is. But, you know.
Yeah, I'm like, if I were to buy it, it'd be like around what, $35 for me to buy it, which is not too bad to think about it like that. So maybe.
Nefat's the only thing he had was Edward's arm. Edward's arm was super duper good for him.
Oh yeah, I did.
Yeah, that was a really good one. There's not much for good Earth machines, so that's.
I do like this one we're about to talk about right here.
This?
I do like this. I do kind of like it.
I
like that.
I would never get this myself, but you know, it's okay.
Movable object.
A movable object is a dead skill on a caster to me.
Right.
So a movable object is only good if you aren't instant casting. If you insta cast, it literally accomplishes nothing.
The only reason why I say that is because like I got interrupted today while I was playing it. I was like, motherfucker.
Well, get your cast speed up, bro.
Well,
Get
no,
good.
it wasn't that because someone else was using Angela in a PvP match, so I was on hold. So
Oh.
whenever I was on hold, I got hit and I lost my opportunity to cast, and then he casted again.
Oh, okay, that's fair.
That's why.
That's fair.
That's why
Well,
I said
use
that.
your non-stacking magic and stop being a bitch about it.
Fair
Damn.
enough. Damn it. Ooh,
Damn.
No.
Change
But
my
look,
underwear,
okay,
man.
so looking at the other stuff, like 65 defense, not bad. Actually, really good int on a robe. Like that's actually pretty
That's not
fair.
bad.
You know.
It matters. Get out of here.
Again, again, more 15% increase instead of 15 on here, or instead of MP on here. I guess.
Yeah.
I'm assuming this is just good. You know, better than just having numbers here. But we see that again. Silence resist is always cool, and then a really high amount of light resist.
You know what I don't get
it's
though
fine.
is that she's already milled 2. So this is her gear, and she's nil to silence. Why the hell would they put res on her paid gear that only she can use? It shouldn't
Yeah.
be
Like
res
her
curse.
extra nil.
You're gonna be
Like-
super nil. It's so if you want to run the curse ring that drops your silence a little, you can be okay.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, okay, all right.
Or in PvP, I guess. It's so if you fight
enough.
any more Vs because they're in so much of the meta, they can't silence you. You know?
True.
Yeah, I think this is just fine. So for me on robes, I'm pretty narrow-minded on the stuff. Like I'm either using Fantasia Cape or Mummy Suit. Like I'm pretty much everybody. Or maybe I'll use like the Aqua Mirage armor or robe just for the MP. So like
Okay.
it's pretty much just those. I guess if somebody doesn't have auto advanced magic circle, then I run Divine Law. But like I don't see this as anywhere near those. So like why would I run this? I don't see the value personally. Just kind of
You got
fine.
MP, bro.
Yeah, you get plenty of MP other ways. I'm fine with it. So yeah, it's fine. They're not the worst gear that I've seen. Like they're totally fine. I can't knock anybody that wants to buy them. If I was on a brand new account and I was spending already, then cool. But you know, fun stuff. That's the paid there. We got the new event, which was beyond dissatisfying.
As always, as per usual.
Yeah, but like this almost felt even more so. Like this normal and hard mode. Am I crazy or were these literally the same stages as in the first one? Like no change at all except new names on them. Like were there even different enemies or different background or like anything? I don't even think the difficulty was necessarily different. Like they're all level 20.
Right.
They're called different stuff, but like you're fighting some assassins and like the crystal-y type desert thing or whatever. The final boss is exactly the same. It's the same difficult. Like it's like they copy pasted them and then just gave them different names and said farm these ones instead. I don't even think they're worth different event points.
I don't even know, but I
Like,
haven't even been doing it. I just did it for the multi, and then I was like, all right, I'm done.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I did a bit of it. I'm going for getting rewards and stuff. I mean, I'm on my ult now, so it doesn't look like I've really done much. But on my main one, I did a bit. There's like a 10 spin in here and stuff, you know, so worth at least going up to get some stuff, some prisms if you need it. Also, for anybody that's on a newer account that doesn't have the like little ray keychain that gives you XP up on a accessory, this is a nice little thing to have. So you just got to grind your way up to here.
Your players, it's amazing.
Yeah, so decent little thing to come in and be able to pick up. We got the magic pot, which has just some weapons and stuff. I can't even look at everything because I'm a scrub, but basically there's some decent stuff. Most of the gear is pretty much just for new games, like new players. You know, for us, there's nothing really new that I remember seeing. It's just kind of there.
Collective purposes, just go ahead and grab everything, get out.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Pot
Yeah.
2 is going to have souls for Angela and Reese, so if you do get either one of those,
Yep.
getting 15 per round is not too bad.
Yep. Yeah, it's a good call out. So for anybody that needs to farm those and you just happen to be wanting to spend orbs on the event, the first pot, the infinite re-rolling on it will give you Duran souls. The other ones will give you the other units. The second one's probably the only one that's worth, and if you don't have either of the units, I would just dip out of the event as soon as you get whatever point rewards you want. That's what I did on my main.
Honestly.
That's what I did for my main. I basically got to the top of those things, and I'm not going to touch it anymore. I'm back to farming multiplayer at this point. You know, it's just more valuable for what I need. All right, I need to catch up on chat because I don't think
The
I've been in
event
here too much.
itself is
I've been trying to
super
stick on it.
lackluster.
Yeah, the event.
God,
Yeah.
Bro, your
Like, super
UI is just
lackluster.
insane right now. I forgot what it's like to be a brand new player, man.
Oh,
God,
dude, it was even worse. Like right out the gate too. Like everything was locked. I couldn't even enhance things, even though I had the materials. They're like, "Oh, you need to get through
Torts
story
are
mode
locked.
1-3," and I'm like, "Oh shit, okay, all right." And then I started doing stuff, and I'm like, "Oh man, she really needs some cast speed." So I went to Discord. I'm like, "Hey, who's willing to unlock Purple Gate and go carry my ass so that I could get some clusters?" So yeah.
Like, I think I was gonna make a video, but I think it's safe to say that out of the whole collab, I'm willing to argue that still FFA arc. If you don't have Honey
yeah.
Elixir or WAP,
100%. It's the big win.
100% go for FFA.
Yep. Absolutely.
Like units come and go, right? Reese is great and all, so support can do damage, but eventually, right? More units are gonna come out. So she's gonna get crept,
Yep.
and you're gonna be, oh, I have Reese, right? Okay, cool. But now there's this other unit that can do a lot more, but you don't have FFA. You don't have Honey Elixir.
Yep.
So 100% out of this whole collab, if you don't have, uh, whatchamacallit, my point is get FFA. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's the thing to go
honestly,
for.
you will have, you guys watching this, and if you guys don't have Honey Elixir, it will be your biggest regret
Mm-hmm.
ever in this game not getting that arc.
Yeah, it's pretty massive. Or at least like having somebody with it. Like the thing that's nice also about going for Redux is like, say you're kind of unlucky and like you can't get FFA, but like maybe you'll get Prim. Like that's still pretty consistent access
Right.
to Honey Elixir. You know, you can give her
Right.
Goddess Kiss. She's got really, really good physical attacks now, so you can actually, you know, spam stuff pretty well. She's a really good battery now, at least from what I'm told. So, yeah, definitely, if you just have gems and you don't know what to go at, it's worth it to go broke and get nothing for a chance to get something on here. You know?
I have a
Yeah.
ticket actually.
Yeah.
I have one ticket ready to go.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm gonna use it on yet. I do really want Power Break, but I also would not mind a new unit too. So I'm kind
Power
of,
Break.
Power counter.
Mana.
Power
Power
counter.
counter.
you mean power
I
counter.
keep calling, you know, I've been
Yeah.
calling it break for power counter. Yeah,
Yeah.
30% when we have a full special on.
Yeah, it's definitely
to
good.
us.
I like it also for dash, just because, you know, it's +2 for 5.
Yeah,
It's pretty good.
and actually, I would like some more magic that's not in the game. So Acid Storm would be kind of cool too.
Mhm.
Even though Lunar Magic's kind of a weird one. Here's the point we made last time is that these arcs from the Redux are so unique. They have all unique stuff, and that's like another thing I was thinking. I was like, damn, do I want unique stuff that I can teach anybody, or do I want a character that's just gonna be there and eventually I'll never use them again? So
Yeah.
that's like the biggest thing you have to think about.
I would
If you already
100% get
have-
an arc. If it was
Right.
if it was up to me,
Yep.
you get this arc instead. It's better than a unit.
So-
Arcs always scale
Yeah.
better with time.
Right,
You
and
know?
it also has an amazing arc ether reward. And I say amazing is just because it's a really cool one. It's based off the video game.
Yeah.
It actually is pretty decent on stats for a 2-year-old arc. You know,
Yeah,
it's not that bad.
I mean, it was Omega OP back in the day. By today's standards, it's just fine.
it's fine, right?
Yeah.
But
you know, on a fresh,
it's nice.
I did want to.
if you get it though,
I did want to say,
yeah,
you mentioned dash, and so I noticed that it lowers. Okay, so it lowers your ult gauge refill speed by 20%, and I actually did not know, but I did war the skill, and it actually it halted the 100% to 80%. So it affects
Okay.
all forms of ult gauge. I had no idea until
that's
that.
very interesting. Okay, that's
Yeah.
that's good to know. That's so strange because it doesn't work like that with a lot of other stuff. Like if you have something that, like I don't think if you have like hidden treasure that gives you plus 50% and you only have like a level 5 Gwar, I don't think that gives you 100%. You know, like I don't think it works the other way.
Wait, say that again.
So,
I almost had trouble trying to understand you.
hidden treasure, the like SR arc or R, whatever it is, where its only passive is plus 50%. If you have that and a low level Gwar, like one that gives you 50%, you know, and you activate it with that, I don't think that it would give you 75%. Or like,
Has anyone tested it?
I know that I've seen other passives that have had like, oh, on wave start gain, 20% of your special, and like when you have things that increase it, it doesn't seem like it affects it at all. It's always just like the passive like per second or like per hit amount that you get, at least a little bit that I've seen, but I haven't tested everything in the game. I just saw some of it do that, and I just assumed everything was like that, where it just affects your overtime. I assumed it was exactly like the haste spell, basically. Like when you have plus 25% SET recovery, that's just per second. It's not going to help your glass record to give you more back, you know? Things like that.
Right.
So,
I just thought I'd point that out in case someone didn't know. I didn't even know.
yeah. So
Kind of sucks. I guess it kind of sucks, but not really, because I never run it. I never use dash.
Yeah, I mean, good thing to test. So I definitely wouldn't run it if I'm running a Gwar cheese. If that's the case, then. But for everything
sure.
else, plus 2 for 5 is really good. For the record, the alternative is 8 for blessed speed, which basically doesn't have a negative. So you save a 3 SC to get lower special refill time, which It's pretty fine min-maxy for me, because usually alts don't matter much, so especially on my physical DPS.
What did you say, John? That the negative side was 20%, minus 20%?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
minus 20%.
Ooh, that's a hit. That's a hit one.
Yeah.
That's a hit.
Okay, so
Yeah, you can't do war cheese, unfortunately.
let's see. Nefets in chat said, if you already have WAP, do you really need Honey Elixir as much as other people? You definitely don't need it as much. Like I wouldn't spend $100.
No.
I wouldn't spend $100 to go get Honey Elixir. I probably wouldn't, go broke on your gems trying to get it. Like as long as you have one of the two, it's fine. Unless you care about like time trials, then it will make a big difference.
Right.
Like if you really, really care about min-maxing, Honey Elixir is miles better than WAP, but WAP is miles better than the next best thing. So like you're good. You're good. So like comparing directly to like Glass Record is only better on like Theria. Otherwise, like WAP and Honey Elixir are just always better. Just because Theria can't really use WAP and things because she has horrible MP regen, like burst MP regen anyway.
Right.
So, but she gets Glass Record discounted.
Let me see. Yes, Naf is saying, good point. I'm gonna say for Hope DMC return, and then I can focus all my gems on Virgil's banner because I'm interested.
Dude, for real.
Yeah. So honestly, that's not all just the win. Winning in that collab is gonna be arcs too. DMC's arcs are not something you want to sleep on. Purple Orb, Phone
Purple
Booth,
Orb and phone. Yeah.
huge
That
arcs.
one
and-
arc,
and,
man.
like, yeah, they're just as important as in my opinion, not as important as Honey Elixir, but they're on the same level.
They're
as
up
in,
there.
Yeah, they're definitely up
They're
there.
up there.
Yeah.
Purple Orb is pretty amazing, especially if we've done it before where we did a low cheese
crazy.
where we had 7 stock on, you know what I mean? Then like 4 stock on his S3 is just insane. Man.
Insane damage.
Yeah. So yeah, Purple Orb is top notch.
Yep, definitely another good one to watch for. So hopefully that gets rerun at some point. But
Absolutely.
yeah, the bottom line though is anybody that wants to be doing stuff like this is still more valuable than going for Angela, especially because the arc is just so bad on her banner. For the most part, like it's basically as good as Reese's arc as well, maybe a little bit better because Reese's is laughably just mediocre too. But like if you get Final Fantasy, if you get any of these arcs, it's really good. If you get this though, you're set. So, yeah. Final Fantasy Adventure, where it's at.
Did they announce anything else for part 3 aside from just the time trials? Like, was anything else gonna get added? I can't remember.
I know for sure one of the things that we should be getting is some way to get the final prism or prisms for Duran, because we don't have all of them in game right now to make him 110. So I'm sure we'll either get like a part 3 to the event where they copy paste things and give them new names again, or maybe there's going to be like a special time trial. I thought, you said there is a time trial that is confirmed, right?
Yeah,
we are getting a
next
time
week.
trial. Yeah, so it's probably mostly the time trial. I would guess they're going to have an easy mode time trial, and that's probably where we get the Duran prism from, where like most people could probably complete it.
Well, apparently the whole time trial, like even the ranked one, is easy mode.
Yeah, but I'm talking like
difficulty.
I'm talking like a rank 10 or less account could probably complete it in order to get the Duran prism, like super duper easy, so like you can see what the fight is kind of, but there's like barely any damage coming at you and you can get through it with pretty minimal effort. And then the actual time trial is probably going to be, way easier than the last time trial for sure. Since, enough people cried about it, so they made it easy. But we'll see.
That's all it takes.
I mean, I really wish they would just give it different levels of stuff. Like, maybe just give us 3 difficulty levels of the time trial and make it be like, hey, the most important rewards are behind the easiest difficulty. But then, like, I don't know, just something with ranking is just, it gives you something extra. Maybe there's a certain gold sticker you can get for making top 100 on, like, the super hard mode or something. Like, things that don't really matter, but,
So what do you? Well, the reason I asked that was just so that I could ask you guys, what are your, since pretty much the collab is done, right? Like, what are your final thoughts on the whole collab itself?
I'm glad the Redux came around and they let us pity stuff for $100. That's cool. I'm omega disappointed in the new arcs. I hope it's not a trend that they just give us really mediocre things with like 1 or 2 unique skills on them. That's biggest disappointment. There was a time when collab arcs would have every single skill be unique, and the fact that like it's not the case, it's really heartbreaking. The new units are good, but like not completely required from what I can tell. Like if you get either of them, most accounts will probably be pretty heavily bolstered from them, unless you're like a tippy top end gear player, like end game player that has everything.
Right.
But you can probably gain something out of it, which is really good. I talked about before that like my new obsession is setting up autoplays for like multiplayer. I do think Angela is probably one of the best units for that because she has non-stacking magic and she has a wide variety of what she can use. So like I feel like if I had gotten her on my main, I probably would like I could probably use her in like almost all of the fights and just run on auto and just make her pseudo tanky and just make things work, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
What are your thoughts, DK?
I arcs were omega disappointed. They didn't follow the same formula with the Secret of Mana, which was why I really wanted the
You were
trials
the
to
most
happen.
hyped for the
I was the
collab,
most
right?
hyped, and I will admit I was the most hyped, and I'm also the most disappointed. And I'm almost positive about that. The reason why I am disappointed is because they did so well on the Redux, not the Redux, but the Secret of Mana, and I thought it was going to be the exact same formula, and it was
Right.
far from it.
Yep.
I don't care for Reese at all. She is my least favorite character of the collab. Angela, if I had to pick a mage, and if I were to tell someone to get one, it would be her, just because of her non-attribute magic. Because a lot of people probably won't go for Lagravos anymore. So securing her is going to be great for your account, especially in towers. I have taken her to towers, and she dominates towers. I've gotten to floor 86, I believe, with her. She is a little squishy, but with survivability, she's okay. Going on to the event was so disappointing. I mean, bad, just bad. It was all just awful, mediocre, level 20, level 40 crap. I mean, seriously, guys, like, what are y'all doing? Like, seriously, y'all know that there's players out there like us that want harder content, and we want, we expect something, and then when we're here stuck doing level 40 crap to grind for hours on end just to get 15 souls per. You know what I mean? I mean, yeah, you spoiled us with the Dr. Stone collab, giving us a good abundance of like souls and stuff like that. And this one, 15 every like 2 hours. I mean, come on, man, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm glad we're getting the time trial, which we don't know what it is yet. The last fight they did give us, the level 100. What the hell was that? Anyways,
it was super easy. I don't even barely an inconvenience.
I fought a rat. Thank you. Like, out of all the stuff in the Trials of Mana, you give us a rat to fight.
I bet it was really funny for a lot of people though to get their cheeks clapped by
a wipe. Yeah.
I mean,
like I went in there and I took some heavy damage. I was like, what the
yeah.
fuck? What is this? What is this little rabbit?
Yeah, I was like, I underestimate. First try, I underestimated the crap out of it. I was like, what's up, little guy? And then just get annihilated. I was like, oh, big TP damage. Let's go. But okay, so I'm not, who knows why they did what they did. But overall, for me, the big winner in this collab is going to be the Redux of Honey Elixir for players that do not have it. Also, Angela for people who don't have Lagravos. Angela is a humongous win for you guys, so you're gonna have fun, Zero. But overall, I'm honestly ready for this cloud to be over. I'm ready for this year to be over, boys, so that we can get DMC rolling next year, hopefully, and Dr. Stone and like the real deal collab, because that is what a lot of people came for. Whenever this, you ask anybody in Discord, not when they came, Dr. Stone and DMC. That is when they came into Las Claudia. That's how you know they did an amazing job for those two things. Like, hands down, no one's gonna be like, "Oh, I came for Sword of Mana." And most people are like, "I left after Sword of Mana or Secret of Mana."
Yeah.
Like,
right, yeah.
So yeah, DMC and Dr. Stone are their bread and butter. Like, they are like, that is what pulled a lot of players in. But I can't beat the Black Rabbit. But yeah,
dude, I can imagine it's probably
those
pretty hard for a lot of people.
No, it oh my gosh, it's probably so hard for people.
Yeah.
Like,
I only know Death because I cheesed it with jawlines.
I used
Strat.
yes, thank you, Jawline. Jawline, thank you. I checked it with your extra. Oh my god, I probably wouldn't have been able to do it fast without you, honestly. The no death run, because Jawline has a level 10 Gwar. So, woo, good to have
Yeah.
him on there, man.
I'm glad
Oh,
I'll
you
never,
actually used mine.
I'll
Oh,
never let
okay.
you down
Oh,
again
okay,
with my
yeah.
V, bro. I absolutely, I promise, I promise I won't let you down my V ever again. But no, seriously, on all seriousness, like, I don't want to bullshit. We don't get paid for this game. We're not sponsored by this game, so I feel like an honest opinion is very important.
Right, yeah.
Super disappointed in this. Like,
Yep.
the only high value was that so people can get honey elixir, so they didn't
Yep.
feel so left out trying to do certain things in the game. So thank you, but no thank you, Adis. But
Yeah.
I am happy with Angela. It's
Yeah.
one unit I wanted. I did get her. I'm set on honey elixir. So let's
Yep.
move on,
Yeah.
right?
I can I'm pretty much I agree with everything that you guys said. For me, I wasn't. I mean, I was excited just because it was a collab, right?
Right.
And
Yeah.
new units, new possibilities. But then when Reese came out initially, I was like, okay, all right, cool. She can do some damage with a little bit of utility. Not really
Yeah.
needed. Not a must pull.
Yeah.
And then the arc, piece of shit arc. Angela, she came out. I mean, I have Maja, and then I have Sage Zika, so I'm good on mages.
Yeah.
So I didn't need her. Would it have been cool to get her? Yeah, but just for the sake of, hey, a new toy, something new
Right.
to
Right.
use.
Mhm.
I did get the arc. Like I said earlier, I did max the ether right away just because I still haven't used it. I don't know if I'll actually use the arc. Probably not, to be honest. As for the event and so far with what we've gotten, nothing amazing. Pretty boring, to be honest. And then Koi actually here in my chat, he brought up a good point. He said that he finds the collab arcs not having ultra rare skills a good thing because he says that LC lately has been about limited stuff and the whole not. He says that the whole collab being not like OP units and OP arcs is kind of refreshing, which I can agree with that. That's a fair point. So the biggest thing, of course, like you guys said, the Redux or the Secret of Mana rerun with Final Fantasy Adventures. If you are a person that doesn't have it and you missed out on WAP, then 100% that's where all your gems should go to, or you should try to get it. And then if you're willing to spend money, the $100 for Honey Elixir, easily the highest value, to be honest.
Yep.
Um,
If you were going to spend
so
$100 throughout the course of the year on this game, just do it now and get Honey Elixir for sure. It's better.
yeah. So everything else, like even like the units, they're easy skip. At least for me, they were an easy skip. So yeah.
Yeah. So in regards to the arc thing, and we don't want everything to be super omega OP. For me, the point isn't things being like, oh hey, we wanted like the power crept honey elixir or like something else that's super crazy. I just want things to be unique on them. So like a good example was like the last time we saw things that were filled out with like unique stuff was like maybe stone, I think, where like there was some things like science up. It was just a minor int up that was unique and gave you a bonus. Not game breaking at all, but it was something different at least. Some of the other skills in the old ones is like there was like Blood of Amara or Amanda or something, like another one that's on the FFA arc.
Oh yeah.
It basically just cuts in half your time that you get cursed, and it costs like 1 or 2. It's not broken, but it's unique. It's a neat effect, and like if you want to use it, you could have it. So like I just want things to be unique that aren't the same. Like why on an LR that's limited time, well, that's definition of LR, I'm an idiot, but like HP and MP up 2, they're the most throwaway garbage. Like anybody that's like mid to end game is gonna have all the SR and SSRs. Don't put that shit on them. Like it kind of actually bothers me that's the shit that we get on like URs every once in a while too. Like you put MP up 3 on my UR, like dude, like be a little creative, like a little bit. Like give us something that's only.
I agree.
Like maybe something that's only on in like one other SSR or something. Like that's all I care about. It doesn't need to be broken, but I want unique shit that you can only get from here, not that breaks the game.
So, and Koi also says that he says that the skipping isn't a bad thing. Like I agree. Like it's it's not necessarily a
Hmm.
bad thing to skip, saying talking trash on the units, but I
Yeah,
think he's trying to approach it from like the free to play versus like the pay to win.
yeah.
So he I don't know. I guess he wanted to ask what you guys where's your
Yeah.
stand on that?
Like if you were free to play and like not necessarily in game, like maybe pretty limited on the amount of roles you have and like your account's like kind of
Yeah,
mid tier maybe. Um,
yeah,
I think that if that's the case, I mean either of them is probably like a good unit. I think Reese could give you probably more benefit by unlocking Honey Elixir, but at that point,
right.
you should still be going for FFA. Like if you're free to play and like you have a choice of these things, like your odds of getting higher value over on the Redux banner is probably higher. Even if all you walked away with was the SR and you get access to like Holy Boat and Moonsaber, like Moonsaber in the long run is going to help your account probably more than Reese eventually. And if you happen to get Final Fantasy Adventure, you're golden. So like yeah, it's still you go for the Redux banner. It's just smarter, I think, but if you
Way
get
more
Reese, you're not
value.
gonna if you get Reese, you're not gonna be mad about it.
Of
you don't
course,
get
yeah.
it,
But
you're not gonna be
but
mad
if you
about it.
only get her,
Yeah.
but the thing is, if you only get her LR, you are gonna be mad about it.
Oh yeah.
If you go for Redux and you don't hit FFA, but you get Prim or either of the other arcs, you're still like you got some pretty decent value still for your gems. Like
Right.
yeah, so like risk to reward is just better on Redux as well. So
I actually have an alt too, so I will be going for Honey Elixir and a Reese on my alt just because I do have Angela already. But then now I'm kind of thinking like, damn, I kind of want Angela. I kind of want to play through the whole story with Angela. That'd be kind of fun, right?
yeah, that's my plan. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got pretty lucky with my reroll. Just to shift gears slightly.
No, you got a
Not
god
that,
reroll.
not
You
that,
kidding
not
me?
that this matters. So, okay, so here's the thing. When I did my reroll, my first one, I was like, yeah, we'll do this infinite reroll. I ended up getting like Sandworm and Tink, and I was like, hell yeah, solid. We'll take this shit all day. And then I went in and like my base rolls were really, really bad. So I was like, all right, I guess I'm gonna do the restart and I'm gonna have to do the infinite reroll again. I was like, you know what, this takes so much time. I'm just gonna settle for literally anything and move on because really I just want to hit like Angela and like if my account's a little gimped, I don't need to re-roll for 4 days to get the perfect thing. So like I ended up rolling and I think I got Caldina and then OG Golroth. And I was like, whatever. I guess I'll have Caldina eventually. Like, I don't care about Trish that much, especially because I'll be on Angelina. But I can teach God Heal eventually. So, like, it's a good arc, and
His man
eventually,
and his name.
and like eventually somebody will probably want Trish. So like that'll be cool. So then I went to her
Right.
banner. My first roll on her is totally dead. Second one got me Ganon and Sandworm. So I was like, oh, so I've got Caldine and Sandworm now. And I was like, well, okay, I didn't get Angelina though. And the main thing is I want to hit Angelina for sure on my reroll. Like that's the whole point of the account reroll. So when you start, you get 6,600 gems. So I was like, all right, I guess I'll spend these on single pulls. My single pull, I got Angelina. I got Angela. I was like, okay, I guess I'll take Angela then. And then I went over, I played a little bit of campaign, and I rolled one time on the Redux banner, and I got the Trials one, the one with Dash that we were talking about. And then I went back and I rolled a second time, and I got a dupe. I got 2 of the SR, and I got Honey Elixir. So total of what 12,300 gems spent, and I have Angela, and this is my arc list on my alt.
Oh, let me check.
It's pretty.
Damn it.
It's pretty okay. And then I also got Galliano Falls too, so I can teach Spirit Breath early if I really want to.
Damn, you got secret and
And I got Abandoned Sea too, so that's pretty. So
Damn.
bitch.
yeah,
That's
it's,
nice.
it's pretty okay. So
That's real nice.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
now the thing is though, it's not that fun playing on a brand new account when I already know all the things I want and I have them on my other
right.
account. So like it's really cool. Some of it is neat. I just don't know if I'm gonna have the willpower to like just keep pushing through and like put in all
It's
the work
hard.
on it. So like
It's so hard, bro.
if I can't, I'll just make this a really kick-ass giveaway. So if somebody wants to come into the game and wants a really lit starting point, cool. This is gonna be like a super baller giveaway account. If I don't want to stick with it, so yeah. For now though, I'm very excited to go and try to do some stuff. Should be very fun.
Cool beans. Cool
What's
beans.
good about having an alt though is that you can stack up on stamina, and then when we need to do like God Horde runs or cluster runs, you'll be able to use this as a
That's true.
Stamina pool.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
there are some
yeah.
benefits to having an alt account.
Yeah, for sure.
For show.
Cool. Oh, I also found I talked to some other people before on like how to reroll, and I ended up finding the better way to reroll. Because normally people told me, oh yeah, you just either uninstall or go like delete some game files or something, and like you don't really have to do that if you have a PC. You just you just log into the account on the other one, and you just disconnect everything, and then you could just go to log in. It just says, hey, you want to start a new account or connect something, you can just start it fresh. So. Yeah, just nobody's ever told me that before, so yeah, I figured I'd just point that out. If you're looking to re-roll and you have a mobile device or, you know, maybe you're on an emulator and Steam or whatever. If you have two places, you can log into that account on both. You can go on, disconnect from one, and then you could just log into the other one, and then, yeah. You will have to double log in on both devices to keep looping through, but, you know, if you're re-rolling, that's a way you can do it, so fun times.
Oh man.
All right. I mean, as we talked about,
there's anything
yeah, like we said, the event was pretty lackluster, so there's not really.
Yeah.
We're kind of milking this right now.
pretty much.
So.
I mean, the only thing I'm excited about is just for the time trials, and that's about it.
Yeah, same here. And then whatever comes next, I don't know what's going to be next, but we're probably about due for maybe another UR. I'm sure it's going to be a DOH unit after this.
Probably.
But I don't know if it's going to be UR or not. But at this point, we had Eliza and Lance and Maja, and those were all SSRs. So like we might be about in line for UR. Last UR was Sheeta.
We're still missing.
That was 4 units.
Ice. We're missing ice, earth, and light.
Yep.
Well, technically light. So
maybe shift Roland with
Giovanni.
light UR.
Ooh, shit.
Bring us both URs.
But yeah, I don't think there's much to talk on or touch on.
Cool.
Yeah, no new E5s, right? Nothing.
No.
Oh, I guess the other thing I did want to say is I was pretty excited. I was more excited after the. I was more excited for Randy Prim buffs instead of like Reese and Angela. After like I saw them hit and whatnot, I was like, yeah, you know, I'm more excited about their buffs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so for me, the buffs are pretty cool. Aside from Papoy, rip Papoy.
Dude, I'm so sad. So sad.
I did take Randy and Duran into towers this time around.
I don't have the patience for that.
I did complete it. I completed it, man. I did it.
When you say completed, did you mean like up to 80? Like you beat Ray or
1 through 80? 1 through 80.
1 through 80. Okay, good. Yeah.
Ray was a like 15-minute fight with those.
Oh, I could imagine.
Jeez,
that sounds nightmarish,
God, bro. Yeah, it was insanely dumb, man. I literally just put it on auto and let them just attack. I could not do it. And my fingers got tired from auto attacking. Because that's pretty much all you can do. You can't even rely on skills to hit him. You just have to swipe. He'll run. Swipe. He'll run. But yeah,
that fight is so annoying. But
yeah, it really is.
That's another topic.
Yeah, I did 1 through 80, and I was like, I'm not. I tried to do 81. Oh my god. Talk about slapped, bro. I got slapped so hard. Like, it was bad. It was really bad. I told myself, nope, not happening. So I took Angela in there, and she did pretty good. The only problem, like I said, is her survivability.
Yeah.
So she's real squishy.
Yeah, well, makes sense. She doesn't have a lot of armor protecting her personality.
Yeah, what do you mean? The less armor, the stronger they are.
Apparently not, according to DK.
Yeah, dude, she gets... Yeah, don't let her get hit, man. She's not any better than Lagerbows. I'll tell you that right now when it comes to getting hit. Yeah, she's very, very squishy. So, honestly, I almost ran chivalrous mindset on her.
What the fuck?
That'd be kind of funny.
It'd be really funny, but I was gonna see how tanky I can make her. I would lose the wand, but I definitely would like to see if she can tank a little bit. If so, how much?
She could. You can make anybody tank if you really wanted to focus on it. And the fortunate thing about her is she doesn't have anything tied to robes like Maja. It's all staffs.
Right.
So you could totally run armor on her. I used to do that on Theria. I used to do that because she just had to be the last one surviving, and she could bring your whole team back. So I would run my biggest armor. I'd run some defense ups and protection, and Yeah, do all that stuff.
I've already learned it, so I've already learned Chival's mindset. I haven't tested it yet though, but I do plan on trying to make her somewhat of a tank. But like I said, this whole sword thing is kind of weird. But she doesn't come with any damage cap boost like the staff mega boost or anything like that.
Yeah.
At least I don't think she does. No, does she? Wait, does she come?
Yeah,
with
she
Mega
comes
Boost?
with staff. Yeah, she comes with staff boost and
that's
mega
right.
boost.
So
She's just missing high boost.
I would lose 2K.
Man, you have her. What the fuck? You're supposed to know
Bro, I forgot. Give me a break. All right, I've been working all
He's
day.
he's the filthy casual of the podcast. Don't add him.
That's
Don't be mad about
Damn.
it.
Whoa.
this. Damn.
Whoa.
I didn't say it. I
Check
agree with
my-
it, but I didn't say it.
Check my hours, motherfucker. At some point, it said I had like 900 hours, and then the update happened, and I went back to like 400 or something like that. I don't know. It was
What are
weird.
my hours? Let me flex.
What do you
my
mean
hours.
you're yeah, oh.
Yo, no, the hours,
845.
yeah,
Suck it.
my hours played was like 800, 900, and then we got an update, and I went back to like 300, 400.
The other day, Matt.
What? That's a huge difference.
I don't know. I'm telling you, that's how it happened.
Yeah, the other day, Magic was looking through at like amount of stages cleared on just random people's accounts, and he was like, "Holy shit! Like that's pretty high." I think I was like, I think it was like 155 or 255, something like that. And then looking, I think Tweaks is like almost 1 million. But then like most people I would look at was like about 100K or so, maybe 200, 300K. Some other people that I know have been around for a really long time were closer to like 5 to 700K. And I was like, oh, hot damn. I went and
That's
looked
all Arc Ether farming though. That's not even playing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But so I went and pulled up a bunch of people on my friends list, and of course came to DK as well. And you were like 55K. And I was like, this is because you only farm XP. You're
Wait.
It doesn't even auto.
55K for what?
for like amount of stages cleared. On the account.
No,
yeah.
I don't farm Ether.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I
So
only
I'm at
farm Ether if I
400K.
need
What a
it.
scrub. What a scrub.
I only farm Ether. Yeah, no, actually not a scrub because I do just as good and I don't have all the shit you guys have. So
I do just fine, and I don't have the gear that I could get.
Exactly.
I'm level 9 and I'm still better.
True.
Wait, Zero. What's your total quest cleared?
I was like, it was either like 155 or 255. I don't remember which.
Sorry guys, I'm not gonna blow up my phone for last call.
Yeah.
I just refuse.
Just blow up your PC.
Yeah, you can run it on Steve.
Oh no way!
Yeah, have it auto. I auto mine all day now. Now that I got my PC all set up and stuff.
I couldn't.
Damn.
You know how much my electricity bill would if I were to do this thing?
What are you talking about? What?
Dude,
Your electric bill would be crazy if your PC was on all day. Like it's that bad, dude. Get a PC that's like from within the last 5 years or so. Like,
Okay,
how about
yeah,
that?
no, dude, this thing's like 390, like 64 gigs of RAM. Like this thing's just insane, dude. It's a bad boy. Yeah, no, this thing
Okay,
is.
so just like you can't run it on low power. Okay, I mean,
I could,
dude,
but it's probably.
I'm just saying if your computer, if running it costs about the same much as running a dryer, to the point that it's gonna like rack up your bill for running it constantly, like if you need to choose to run your AC or run your PC, like it's a problem. That's what I'm saying.
So yeah, that is a problem then. Huh?
But I would think so. But I mean, hey, you have all the power though. You know?
No, I personally just like I said, I only ether farm what I need. I don't really go after stuff that I don't.
Yeah, that's fair.
Cool. And I have, and honestly, even now I have like 65 pots, and I still don't even use them. Like I said, I only use because I mean you never know when like something's gonna come out, and I'm like, holy shit, I need this now, and I'll go ahead and use like pots, or I will ether farm. But we're also getting those events with stages that allow you to ether farm with like the 2% more. So like now I kind of just wait for those. Honestly, man, I can get about 60% even just casually doing the events.
Yeah.
For 3 arcs. So shit, I'll take it, man.
Yeah.
Oh, I did want to say good things did happen. I did get some new arcs while pulling for Reese and Angela. I got Hagiopolis, I got Ganon, and then I'm still working on the Reese's arc. So
nice.
3 new arcs.
Hey, that's solid.
All this.
So speaking of those,
nice.
I don't have it here, but I did look at it the other day. That Hydiopolis or whatever, it has that unique durability skill on it. Wholly overpriced, Batman. Like, what the fuck did they do with that jacked skill? So like, for me, like if you're gonna have minus 10% damage taken, that's like 4 or 5 SC. based on all the other sources that we have for having that. That costs like 9 and reduces movement speed. Like, it has a negative and is like double priced. Like, why does this exist? Like,
I'm not sure, to be honest.
dude, it's so bad. I don't understand.
What?
The durability, a skill that's on Baran and Rabala's arc.
Yeah, what about it?
Yeah, it's really
Archaeopolis?
yeah, it's crazy overpriced. Like, obscenely overpriced.
9 SC for movement speed lowered, but physical damage minus 10%.
Ew.
Yeah, when like minus 10 should only be like 4 or 5 SC with no like penalty. Like, if it costed 4 and had a penalty, I'd be like, okay, cool. That's like what Steely Intent is. You know, it has a negative.
I use it on Lena. Just to make her like super tanky.
I mean,
you know what? I'm gonna put it on
yeah,
Lena.
so like, I guess it's fine if you literally have nothing else to spend points on. Or like, your only goal is to make them take like 1 damage. And like, you're making a meme build to just be like, I absolutely will not even take damage from bosses anymore. Okay, cool. Then it's worth 9 SC, because what else are you going to spend the 9 SC on? But like, for a legit build,
oh yeah, legit.
it's
No, hell
so
no. We'll
shit.
never use that.
It's so bad. Yeah, so I was disappointed to see that the other day.
I just got it for the hierarchy.
All right. Well, I'm just spinning right now. We're just finding random BS to talk about. So, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and close this shit out. So, thanks for joining us, everybody. I know this one was a little bit more chill, even though we got a collab going. But as we said, it's pretty uneventful overall. Most hype was Angela coming in. She's super cool. Not completely needed, but, you know, if you can build her up, she's going to help you out. She's going to be a great unit. She's really, really solid. But, yeah.
Oh, and I did want to say, for those of you that are watching, in the background, I have been putting or making notes of timestamps of when we transition to things. So there will be timestamps. I think Zero, you said that they were on before.
I used to do it, and I just haven't had the time. So like, since I haven't been releasing other videos, and I just haven't had much time for doing the stuff, I just have fallen behind and not been doing it. So yeah, Jaw has volunteered to be marking those things. So hopefully, for anybody coming in here after the fact, we'll be able to start having some timestamps. You can jump around and see, you know, where we're finding stuff.
I try to make them as accurate. So hopefully they're not too janky.
Hey, anything that's there is better than none. So super big thanks to Jawline.
Just want to point that out.
That's awesome, dude.
Beautiful.
I figured, you know, if people did want to recatch on them or whatever, it'd be easier for them to watch the whole thing.
To locate it, yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
Oh man, good call.
Alrighty. Well, I hope everybody's polls go well, and whatever comes after this event. So good luck, have fun, go forth, murder things.
Later,
See you guys.
Peace.